Northern Governor Garry Juffa has warned that the country may be heading into obscurity if we do not have an effective and functioning national security apparatus in place, backed by an intelligence community that is well-funded and operating resourcefully. He points out that lack of effective funding and capacity into the various government intelligence organizations and task force units is causing uncertainty in terms of national security and influx of illegal foreigners entering the country. Juffa made these comments speaking on NBC's Morning Chew radio program this week in Port Moresby. Jason Gimawuri reports.
They're going to have 7 military border posts. In fact, they already have them.
Governor Juffa challenged the government to revive the various task force institutions by providing adequate funding and training more people to take up highly investigative and intelligence work. He says the immigration task force was established primarily to monitor a growing number of foreigners and persons of interest who are working without permits in the country. However, the task force was disbanded for some unknown reasons. Similarly, Transnational Criminal Unit still exists but has not been funded amongst other intelligence units which have all been underfunded.
All of these situations can be improved if the government puts together a very effective national security policy. That's what we need. And every country that grows, its economy grows, its intelligence services grow with it. So they can take on board the risks, the opportunities, and produce intelligence that is of high quality in a timely manner for the decision makers. Right now, most of our decision makers are making uninformed decisions, which is like walking around in the dark with your eyes closed.
However, Mr. Juffa has commended Prime Minister Peter O'Neill for bringing about the review and the development of the national security policy, adding that it needed to be taken further by attaching resources to it and looking at the recommendations that the Prime Minister had made.
Examine current legislation that exists and determine whether or not we need to improve them, and determine what legislation exists in other economies where they're put in place measures to counter what is happening currently. Okay, you can't have laws that are outdated and that are for, say, the Cold War period. You've got to modernize and have laws that are relevant to today.
Mr. Juffa says all these task force units and organizations can operate effectively if the government can put together an effective national security policy. Jason Gimawuri, NBC National News, Port Moresby.